Cheers everyone, I am Christy from YN Wine, and I'm so excited to be here tonight with the #1 New York Times best-selling author of Burning Glass, Kathryn Purdie.
Hello.
Kathryn, thank you so much for being here tonight. Well, for having me here tonight, I should say.
You're welcome. We're in my house, so it's like I'm here on her channel, but she's in my house, so
exactly.
we're equally welcoming each other here today.
Exactly. So, welcome everyone. Katie, or Kathryn.
You can call me Katie. It's okay.
Okay, good.
They won't be confused because Kathryn's on my book, so
yes.
It's all good.
So, Kathryn, Katie, do you want to start by telling us just a little bit about what the Burning Glass series is all about for readers who maybe haven't started the series just yet?
Yes, Burning Glass is about an empath, and some people don't know what an empath is. It's a person who can sense another person's emotions, and it's about the 17-year-old empath in a world similar to Imperial Russia, and she's put in a position where she has to protect a very charming but volatile emperor from anyone seeking to do him harm. So, like, she can sense an assassin coming, so she could warn him. And it gets complicated from there, but that's the basic premise of Burning Glass.
Very complicated from there.
And there's lots of kissing and death and, you know,
Kissing
all the
and
things
death.
we expect from an epic fantasy novel.
And they're wonderful. This is definitely one of my favorite series. If you follow my blog or Twitter, I'm sure you know that because I talk about them constantly, but I highly recommend them. Yes, it's mutual. So, one of my favorite things about these books is that you have some fantastic dialogue. So, we're going to play a game.
Oh dear.
And it's called...
I don't know if I'm good at on the fly. It's my acting background. Come on, Katie.
You got this.
All right.
Okay, so it's whose line was it anyway?
Oh dear.
And
Okay.
it's lines from your book.
Oh, I have to guess?
You have to
Said
guess
it?
which character
Oh,
said
I bet
it.
I can do this.
You got
Okay,
it.
I like this.
Okay, so something is very wrong with you.
Oh dear. Do I know this? Something is very wrong with me.
I made them hard on.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe I don't know this. I want to say it's Tasia or Pia. Tasia? Sonia? Sonia?
Beginning of Burning Glass.
Oh, it's not. It's well.
Mm-hmm.
Do we say her name in book one? It's Nadia.
Yeah,
it's Nadia.
Nadia.
Oh my gosh.
Ding.
Oh my god. I thought I would have all these. You look at the words so many times, you know, in all the revisions. Okay.
Oh, I'm sure.
First
Okay.
strike.
Next one. Of course, I'm more than your reflection.
Sonia.
Ding. Got it. Okay. I am enough. Stay with me.
Anton.
Mm-hmm. Anton. Okay. Go in there and keep your wits about you.
Lenka.
Yes.
Yeah. The maid. The stodgy maid.
Yes. Love her. Besides, I have nothing to fear. I have you.
Valko.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Valko. Okay. Live your life without looking too far behind you or too far ahead.
Falco. Isn't it like, but it's someone's advice to him and he's relaying it, right? His mom?
Yes.
Okay.
Nailed it.
I haven't read Burning Glass in a while or looked at it. I've been doing this one in the third book. So.
Okay. No lady eats before a ball.
Pia.
Mm-hmm. Pia. Yep.
Terrible advice. You'll find out why later.
If you go to a ball.
It was
don't
bad
do that.
advice. Sonia doesn't do well because of bad advice.
So this, I think, is the favorite of book pushers everywhere. Read the book.
Oh, Anton.
Yes, Anton. Okay, a necessary requirement of a poet, that and a wide range of insecurities.
Tasia.
Yes.
I think it's like, yeah.
I don't know.
I actually talked to a Russian professor because they're doing the audiobook and like made sure I was right on my pronunciations.
And the last one. Did I
I
never
can't repeat
abandon the beard law? By the gods, you should grow yours back.
Falco is such a jerk.
It's Valko. Okay, so another one of the most interesting things about these books for me is the dynamic between Sonia, Anton, and Valko. It's so interesting. It isn't what I would call a love triangle. It's so much more complex and interesting and just intense.
Yeah.
So, of the three of them, who is your favorite character to write and why?
I love to write. Oh, it's hard. I would say in Burning Glass, I love to write Sonia more. She just totally surprised me. She does a very terrible thing in the beginning of the book, and I'd outlined the book planning for this thing to happen, but it was just going to sort of naturally happen and propel her on her journey. I'm trying to like speak in code, but as I was writing, her character was like, no, I did this, and this terrible thing. Not that she's like a bad person, but she's real and vulnerable and makes mistakes. And then after, so she was always throwing surprises at me, and it made the story more about her redemption. And she's just always doing these crazy things, and I'm like, no, Sonia, don't, don't do it. But she does. But in the second book, there's plenty of that still going on for her, but I was more used to her. I was more prepared for her surprises in a way. And Valka was the one that surprised me more. So I always like to write the one that surprises me more. They're my favorite.
So your books are definitely character driven.
Yeah.
They definitely come across that way, so I can definitely see that. And I love that Sonia is an empath. I think that's such an interesting ability to have in a novel. And as a reader, I think it really enhances like our emotional experiences with the book, just because her emotional experiences are so intense, both her own emotions and her emotions because she picks up the emotions of the other characters in the novels as well. So can you tell us the story about how you decided to write a book with an empath in it?
Yeah. So I donated a kidney to my brother in 2009, and I was always, I think everyone has empathic qualities. We just, you're around someone that's negative for a while, and you kind of get irritable,
right?
Because like you just feel that energy. It's not really anything mystical. It's just like science. Like I feel like, so anyway, I was like that to a certain extent, but after donating the kidney, I'd never done anything, had a surgery or done anything that major before in my life, and all the energy that my body was putting into recovering from the transplant, like I felt like all my defenses were down, all my walls were down, and I could just sense everybody that much stronger. And again, I don't want to it's not this like hokey mystical thing, but it was just like I just wanted to, I couldn't see anyone suffer. I would see like a homeless man on the street, and you can only like do so much, and I'd go home and like be bawling for like 2 hours. I'd see like a kid on TV, just like a fake movie, a fake story, fiction, and a kid has a disease or something. I'd start bawling for a couple hours. Like I just couldn't stand. It was mostly like to see people suffer, and it was just painful. I'd never felt it that strong before. And I'd done this thing where I tried to help somebody, and I helped my brother, but like I wanted to help like the world, and I couldn't, but I felt this like overpowering need, and it was just something that really stuck with me. I really didn't get over most of that for a couple of years, and I think to some extent I'm still that way. I'm just kind of gotten more used to the fact that I'm that way.
Right.
I'm not all the way back to normal since I donated the kidney. But I just decided I wanted to explore that in a novel, like someone Sonia's not me. There's so many different things about the journey, but someone that's going through that, but hers is like times 100 what I went through, because she feels like if someone's cold or hungry or they're in pain, not just their emotions, and makes terrible decisions sometimes if she's around the wrong kind of person and is influenced by that, and then has to decide who she is. That was a long answer, but that's. Yeah.
I asked you that intentionally because I love that story. I've actually heard it before, and I love it, so I wanted to share it with other people because I think it's so fantastic. I love that this story came from that experience. Did you know you wanted to write a book before that point? So
that's what actually got me writing in the first place. Like I wrote poetry and songs and short stories growing up, and my dad was a writer, but I didn't write a novel, or definitely didn't have a desire to be published, or like I was on that path. I had more of an acting background. I had an acting background, like that's what I was, an actress. So after, and again, it was like going through like all that pain. It wasn't anything about regrets from the transplant. I was so happy that I did it, but it was a real healing emotionally. Like it took a couple years to fully emotionally heal from like that something as traumatic as like getting your kidney pulled out of your body.
Right.
So it was about 6 months later and I kind of went through a really bad depression. And I wasn't able to act at the time. That was always my fallback, like for my creative outlet was acting. And I had 3 kids, like a 1-year-old baby at the time, and I needed some way to express all this stuff that I was going through. And even acting wasn't enough, because like Sonia doesn't just feel herself, she feels everybody. I needed to express that. And you can really only do that as a writer. You can write all the characters, and she feels all the characters. So that's actually, Burning Glass wasn't the first book I wrote after the kidney transplant, but I actually wrote another book about an empath.
Oh, really?
And then Burning Glass was 3 books later. It was my 4th book that I wrote. I call them books. They're manuscripts. They weren't published.
Right.
But for this one, I decided to circle back. I didn't, that was my first book, and it's never going to be published. It needs help. But now that I'd have more experience, I wanted to try to tackle like the really difficult subject of writing an empath again. And don't ever let me do it again, because it's so hard. And I'm glad I did it. But now that I've written, by the time this trilogy is done, I will have written 4 books about empaths. So I think I've got it covered. I think I've empaths.
I love
got it
though.
done.
And there's not a whole lot of empath novels on the market. So they're unique and they're fun, and I absolutely love them. Oh, and you have some exciting news too, because Burning Glass is going to become an audio book. So have you listened to any clips or anything yet?
I haven't listened to any clips of the narrator. It's Fiona Hardingham. She's done like An Ember in the Ashes and Now I Rise and I Darken.
Such an incredible narrator.
Tons. There's more. Those are the ones I can think of off the top of Blood Rose Rebellion. But so I listened to her, doing other books, but not mine. I'm just like dying. It's going to be September 5th, because I'm an actress, so I'm like, it's exciting for me to hear someone in a way act out the story.
So surreal, I think.
Yeah.
And exciting. Oh, I can't wait to get it. And so I have another game
for
us.
Yay.
Yay.
Will I win?
Well, you will. Some characters might not.
Oh dear.
So it's called Marry, Kiss, or Kill.
Oh.
And we're going
Sounds
to play...
like something I'd like.
Yeah.
Kiss or kill.
Exactly.
It goes really well with my books.
It's the theme. So we're going to choose between your leading men in your books. You have to pick one to marry, one to kiss, and one to kill. And you have to choose between Anton, Valko, and Bastian, who is in Katie's next series.
I was like,
Bone Grace.
He's not in this book.
And I haven't got to meet him yet, but in 2019, we will get to meet Bastian.
I've written a quarter of that book already, so kissing hasn't happened yet. I'm like, how would it be?
On the spot.
I can imagine. He'll be a good kisser. Come on. So, okay, I've got to kill, marry, and kiss. Man. Marry Anton. He's a perfect guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of is.
Sometimes he's too perfect. That's like his flaw. You know what I mean? Like his moral code is so high that sometimes it's too high and problems occur. Marry Anton. He's learning. He's gonna, anyway. Book 3. And, oh man. Well, okay, yeah. Kill Valko. He's a good kisser. He's an evil man. He's a good kisser.
Positives.
But if I'm gonna kill one of those 3, I've gotta kill him. Okay. And Bastian will be a very good kisser, and it'll be a very built up kiss that will come in that book, and will be a very great reward, I hope, for the readers to get to. So
we can't
kiss
wait.
Bastian.
Kiss Bastian in 2019. Okay.
It'll be worth the wait. All that tension for that kiss.
I know. And we still have a book 3 in this series in between then too. So lots.
I'm not allowed to say the name
wonderful
yet.
Books coming. So my last question is, for all the aspiring authors out there, can you share with us what the single best piece of writing advice you received was?
Oh man, this is always hard. I would say don't write what you know.
Nice.
Because everyone says, write what you know. And the thing is, obviously there's a lot of me. There's, even if you do that, you're going to put so much of yourself into the book. But I always like to write, I love to read things that are not like I wouldn't want to pick up a book about a mom of 3 kids that lives in.
All right. Well, that's all the questions I had for you tonight, Katie. Thank you so much for letting us come over and spend your night talking to us about your beautiful books. And you guys make sure to check out Crystal Blade when it comes out this month on August 15th.
Yes.
August 15th. Yay! Thanks so much, and
Thanks
have a great
for letting
day,
me
guys.
come to the channel.
Anytime.
Come visit the channel.
You are welcome to come anytime.